Hi, my name is Alicia Petit and we're here today at the Armidale Central Shopping Centre in Western Australia. We're here to investigate many complaints made by the tenants in this complex regarding their landlord, Gerard O'Brien. Now, it was reported recently in the Perth Voice that a very popular gift shop in Mount Lawley is set to close its doors after the same landlord, Gerard O'Brien, increased their rent by more than 50%. Now, we believe that the allegations here are of a very similar nature and concern the same landlord, Gerard O'Brien. Follow me and let's investigate.
Prior to opening, we already lost $250,000. After opening, we're losing $12,000 to $13,000 a day.
A day, $12,000 to $13,000 a day. That's huge.
Sorry, I better correct that. A week.
A week.
It was a week. I had to get that right. I was thinking.
So $12,000 to $13,000 a week you were losing.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money, and you're talking. Even though it's 8 weeks, you're already talking another $150,000. Lost in just opening the store. So carrying those sort of losses and not making enough at the other store just to cover completely. They were paying wages and things like that just to keep it afloat. But it got to the point where the debt got too big, and we just trying to think. February, after being open for about 8 months, we sold up and lost everything.
Everything.
One time he actually said to one of his retailers, get a credit card, another credit card, so you can pay my rent. And they said, we can't afford to, I don't care, he doesn't care if anyone goes bankrupt, as long as he gets his rent. And when we confronted him about that, he was more interested in his shareholders. And I said to him, well, isn't happy retailers happy shareholders? If all the retailers start pulling out and you have empty shops, then you're not going to have happy shareholders because no one's going to have any money.
We're here this afternoon with Trish Garnett. Trish used to own 2 Loot Homewares gift stores, one in Southern River and one in Armidale Central Shopping Centre. Now, she still has the store in Southern River. However, the store in Armidale was very short-lived. Trish, can you tell us when you entered into the store in Armidale?
My lease started December 1st.
Of which year?
2010.
Okay, and when did you close your doors to the Armidale shop?
July 21st, 2011.
Okay, very short lease, only a matter of months. Tell us what happened.
Pretty much we were forced to close the store due to financial duress. The store wasn't paying for itself. It wasn't even covering wages for staff, and we couldn't afford to pay the rent, as well as the debts that were incurred in taking over the business from when we walked in.
Sam and Tran opened a bakery at the Armidale Central Shopping Centre. Now, in order to get into the bakery, they needed someone to go guarantor for them. Now, Eddie, you went guarantor for them, is that correct?
That's right. They were halfway through the build and they were unable to raise their own finance, so they were likely to be bankrupted there and then. So after a lot of consideration, I guaranteed $100,000 that they had a chance at continuing.
Okay, and how did that pan out?
Oh, disaster from the beginning. You watch them slowly die. You watch no money coming in. Their second business paid for the first business. Then when the second business folded, it's inevitable that the bakery would fold.
Yes, yeah, sure. And what happened at the end then, when the bakery really did start to crumble?
Well, I came within a day of losing my house.
Okay.
There's a guarantee. I guaranteed both the Sam and Tran and Gerard O'Brien. That's what I did. I helped Gerard O'Brien also. Now, he took money for 17 months, their rent, and they're slowly behind, squeezing more and more. Demanded $5,000 from me, which I did pay to him, which evaporated in smoke.
I'm here now with Martin Dempsey. Martin is the CEO of the WA Retailers Association. Now, Martin, you're aware of the situation with Gerard O'Brien and the Armidale Shopping Centre?
Unfortunately, yes. It's not uncommon across a very wide range of shopping centres in the Perth metropolitan area. There's
Right.
a lot of people, very upset people. A lot of them, the owners, are working for less than an award wage, and they have their houses on the line. They're tied up with their businesses, quite literally, and the more powerful party in the landlord and tenant side takes advantage of a lot of people, ties them up into complex legislation, takes guarantees from them, financial guarantees, bank guarantees. So basically, if their business fails, they lose their home. So it's unfortunately all too common. At our central, there's probably a little higher a turnover than most. There seems to be a lot of people where English isn't the first language that are being turned over. They call it burning and churning, as the smaller tenants are effectively paying much higher rates per square metre than the larger tenants that are being subsidised by the burning and the churning of the smaller ones. So unfortunately, yes, all too common. In relation to some of the things that are happening now to try and alleviate this huge financial pressure, there's talk of an inquiry, certainly some public hearings within the Parliament. For people who've already gone bankrupt, they probably don't want or need confidentiality. But for those people who are still in shopping centres, still with their houses on the line, and in probably the worst retail environment for the last 50 years, things are tight, things are tough. There's certainly been talk about rental strikes, the need for some rental amnesties, but the inquiry should flesh out what's going on. Walk into any shopping centre, start at the food court, look at those small independent mum and dad retailers, and I think the opinions expressed will be first hand and very close to the bone as well.
That's life. That's life. That's what all the people say.